testy between the Vikings' two star wide receivers after numerous reports that Stefon Diggs was unhappy during the season. Now former Vikings linebacker Chad Greenway says Diggs feels like he's taking a back seat to Adam Thielen, and, quote, that does not sit well with Diggs. All right, big deal, little deal, or no deal?
I think this is a little deal. Personalize this. I was jealous of anybody that was outshining me on my team, on the other team, whatever it may be, because you always want to be at your best, and that your best is good enough to dictate terms and dictate wins and dictate stats. And when that's not the situation, you feel a certain type of way. As long as your jealousy is not meeting with sabotage, I never want to get in your way, never want to stop you from being great. I just want to be greater. And this is a situation, I've been in the meeting room before with some of the greats. You know Bruce Smith and all them guys. Every time the coach would say, yeah, we need to win, and he locked eyes with Bruce, I sat there and said, I'm over here. Every time coach would give him the opportunities I wouldn't get because he deserved them, I felt a certain type of way. As long as there's no sabotage, little deal.
Little deal. The realism of the situation is Adam Thielen's a Minnesota kid, small school. He's overachieving. He's always going to be a fan favorite just because, just look at the semantics of the situation. Minnesota kid, you know, he's superseded all of his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Limitations.
Expectations. But at the end of the day, Stefon Digg is upset because he wants to be a true #1 receiver. He went from 169 targets to 94 targets. He went from 102 catches to 63 catches. But the underliner in this is he had a career season in yards. So he's sitting back and saying, if I just got those 149 targets again, how many yards would I have really had?
I like that.
Going.
Look, little deal because it's in the middle, but it has the potential to be a no deal or a very big deal based off of what O just said. And listen, you're talking about friendly inter-team rivalries.
Yeah.
Those things exist, right? You want to be the best guy at your position. You do.
Hell yeah.
You know, and that plays a part in all of this. And listen, both of these guys, the reason why I say it's a little deal, they got to figure it out because both of them have 5 years. Well, okay, so Diggs has 4 years remaining and Thielen has 5 years, and their numbers are very comparable. Digg cap space in 2020, it's both around $9 million. Thielen is 8.2, while Diggs is at 9. Their numbers are very comparable. So you're valuing these guys pretty much the same. So they got to play and figure it out.
Stefon Diggs thinks he's better. Stefon Diggs has to remember, was it a playoff game this year or was it
a playoff game
where they're winning and he's complaining.
He's on the sideline.
He's complaining. So that's why I go big deal. This dude can be a bit emotional, and I think this dude would like to go play someplace else where he can clearly be the #1 receiver. And I blame him, but I halfway don't. When you go look across, if you're a wide receiver in the NFL and you look at what Michael Thomas did this past year and what he's doing with Drew Brees early in his career, you do want to be a #1 receiver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, this is a parallel to AB and Juju for me. Now, let me give you why.
Adam Thielen's better than Juju.
I ain't talking about their talent. I'm talking about the dynamic of, like, look, I want my shine, but how's this shine going to be given? So the quarterback comes into play. You got to temper these expectations because what happened with AB and Juju was AB was like, I'm clearly better than you, Juju. Juju probably would have said, duh. However, I got some numbers that saying I'm good, too. Give me my respect. So it's about what the quarterback does to diffuse the situation, and also it's about how the receivers are taking it. I'm not talking talent. I'm talking about dynamic. This could be a big deal if they don't get their hands around it, because look what happened to AB and Juju.
I just changed my mind. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal now.
Come on, man.
I mean, now that I'm sitting here listening to it, it is the big deal because it has all of the ingredients for a recipe of disaster.
Yeah.
So it's a big
deal. Now Kirk Cousins got to be like,
deal.
Oh, man, he got the ball last.
Little deal.
Yeah.
Little deal. They just need to get some stability in offensive coordinator. It's going to be 4 years, 4 different coordinators.
Well.
Different. I mean, you know, that plays a lot in it. And Zimmer has his hand in the offense on they want to run the ball. So
but when
if
you
it's
get
only so many,
when you get a crack in glass, you know what happens?
something got to give.
That thing starts to slowly keep
It's a little deal for me between Adam and between Steph. I think these guys are friends.
Well, you got to throw the third element in there, the quarterback.
Oh.
And so you throw the third element in there.
That's
who does he have the best rapport
Right.
with?
And then Juju start being buddy with him, and then AB start losing. AB like, I'm way better. And there's one more element. Can we keep it fearless?
Let's go, Dalvin.
When you see Adam Thielen in the same meeting room as you and you Stefon Diggs with those talents, you like question him. And you shouldn't. don't get fooled by the paint job. But when it starts to materialize and he's beating you, you start to feel a certain type of way. So he got a lot to check. This is going to be a big deal. It's coming.
All right, coming up, we'll give you our latest approval ratings for Kobe Bryant, and Uncle Jimmy will explain why LeBron didn't speak yesterday at the memorial. Next. All right, welcome back. Uncle Jimmy's here to help us talk about our approval ratings for Kobe Bryant.
You don't?
But first, who's your big dummy of the day?
You? The person who stood up here and said that married couples shouldn't sleep in two separate rooms together because it's a problem.
Yeah, right.
That sounds like some good night. That sounds like some good sleeping to me. I don't know what you coming from.
Restful night.
All right, look, we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant. No jokes from Uncle Jimmy. All right, Kobe's life was celebrated in a massive memorial yesterday at Staples Center. A number of the athletes, from Michael Jordan to Diana Taurasi, shared their memories in a very moving ceremony. But LeBron James didn't speak and was asked today if he was in attendance.
You attend the ceremony? Like I said, man, it's just, I respect your question, for sure. Very emotional day, very tough day for myself, for my family, for everyone involved. The one thing I can come out is saying how strong and how bold, and how powerful Vanessa is. To stand up there the way she did, to give the speech the way she gave that speech. I commend her. My heart is with their family still, with his 3 daughters that's still here, with his wife, with his mom and dad, and his sister. It was just a very difficult day, obviously, celebration, but it's a difficult day for all of us. So I appreciate it. Just if we can move on to tonight, that'd be great.
All right, Marcellus, is it weird that LeBron won't confirm he was in attendance for Kobe's memorial?
Yeah, it is. No problem if he wasn't in attendance. I understand some people don't want that moment of finality. If I had it to do over again when my mother passed, I would be on the fence, if not leaning, I shouldn't have done that. It was just too much. But I do have a problem he won't confirm it. I think you're going to bring more attention to this situation than necessary, and you're doing yourself no favors.
I'm not going to second guess him at all in this moment, because we all have had these moments, but I've certainly been exactly where LeBron is. I was very close to Derek Thomas in Kansas City, and when he died, it shook me to my core.
Yeah.
Not just out of just sadness for all the people whose lives were just dramatically changed, and I knew them, from his mother to his kids, to his friends, to the organization, the fan base. That shook me, but then being the same age as Derek, it was the first time where I was like, oh my God, it can be over for me at any moment.
Yeah.
And I think LeBron is going through that right now. I did not attend Derek Thomas's funeral. I couldn't handle it. I'm not good with funerals.
Yeah.
I haven't talked. This is probably the first time a lot of people in Kansas City even heard me mention that I wasn't there. I had a few friends that went that knew, but I don't. LeBron is shook right now, and I think authentically shook. And
If asked, were you at Derek Thomas's funeral, would that be your response?
Probably not, but when you're shook,
Yeah, I get it.
you don't respond in the best way. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I've been this kind of shook. And so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Uncle Jimmy, you have any thoughts?
I think for me, I think it was in June 15th of 2018. And that's when I had 2 officers, Patrick Rohr and Teresa King, killed in the line of duty while transporting an inmate. And that loss was so senseless to me that I did not attend that service because it made no sense to me. And when you're young like that and you have a loss like that, it's hard for young people to make a decision, to know what to do, what not to do. So LeBron James gets a pass for me right now. If he was there and he was seen, they're going to say he tried to steal the limelight. If he wasn't there, then he was there because he was mad because he didn't get a chance to speak. Sometimes, man, things just don't make sense, and we got to deal with them on our own way. And that's how I feel about LeBron James right now and this whole thing, and everybody, man. We got to just deal with it. Ain't nobody been here before, man. This is uncharted waters with this loss of Kobe, man. So don't nobody know how to act. And it affects everybody all the way across the globe. You know, so in my opinion, LeBron gets a pass. Everybody deals with it differently, man.
Yeah, I think a sports icon of his magnitude dying at 41 with his daughter when this connection he had with female athletes, I do agree with. We're in uncharted waters. LeBron James, a relatively young father with kids. Again, I think he shook. I probably should have confirmed or denied, but again, I can't second guess or question. I'm not going to go off into elaborate speculation that is prominent over social media. Is he upset he wasn't speaking? None of that matters to me because again, I wasn't remotely close to Kobe, but I'm shook. This was a guy doing so much good. And when I look at a Tom Brady and what he wrote today, I don't think he was that close to Kobe, but he shook.
Yeah.
He's talking about all the tears he shed. LeBron, Laker, all the pressure of trying to win a championship this year to honor Kobe. LeBron shook. I'm going to give him a pass.
Yeah, like my grandmother used to say, you can't make sense out of nonsense. And in times when you're that shook, as you say, you just can't make sense of it. Everyone's feeling the impact because we all shared some of Kobe's legacy, whether it's just as a fan or more intimately. But LeBron, wearing the same uniform as a Laker, being an all-time great like him, having family first like he does in his personal life. Wherever you are, wherever I am, he's that much closer and intimate to it. I get it.
Uncle Jimmy, you got any final thoughts before I get to my approval rating?
Hey, man, you know, we talk about Kobe's work that he did on the court. You know, man, I could be mistaken, but I think Kobe might have mastered the art of fatherhood. And that says a whole lot about what that man was able to do. I'm far more impressed by his actions as a father than I was anything he ever did on the court.
All right, I think our approval ratings are pretty obvious here. Kobe is a GOAT, perfect score for me. This is not the time to second-guess Kobe Bryant. It's the time to celebrate him, and I'm so appreciative of Michael Jordan and Tom Brady and the way they've celebrated.
Oh, yeah. It was great. Yeah, GOAT status and the send-off, appropriate, the magnitude, the intimate words, all necessary.
All right, the internet agrees with us. 81% basically GOAT status. All right, Rachel Bonetta, lock it in.